If you want an in-depth look as to what weapons and perks and things are available in the created class of Call of Duty Modern Warfare's multiplayer, I am not the guy to ask. There's tons of other videos out there. I recommend Exclusive Ace's channel for anything about Modern Warfare that I can't talk about because I wasn't really there. All I can do is speculate on things that you guys have probably already heard. So if you're into Call of Duty Modern Warfare info and you want more detail, go to Exclusive Ace's channel. Now, starting a video saying go to someone else's channel for more in-depth info is probably a bad way to keep viewer retention, but if you're still watching, I appreciate it. And now allow me to speculatively complain a little bit. Going back to a more classic Call of Duty created class system where we have our primary, secondary, 3 perks, lethal, and tactical, sounds kind of nice on paper, a nice return to form. And one of the things I like is that if you look at a video about all the perks that are in Modern Warfare, it's very nice that every perk seems very powerful, and that you could spec into multiple playstyles even with just 3 perks at your disposal. Perks can be more overpowered when you only get to have 1 per tier, meaning you are always giving something else up. So maybe you're giving up explosive resistance, but now you can reload faster. You know, that type of mentality. If you only have 1 perk per tier, those tiers can have some very nice perks. I like that. But going down to the lethal and tactical section in Modern Warfare's created class gives me a bit of a concern. Being able to get grenades without having to give anything up is a big no-no in my opinion. Again, I think Call of Duty Ghosts did it best, where you had a point system and lethals and tacticals took up 1 point, and certain perks took up more points than others. That game was unfortunately riddled with crutches, something that I guess people don't care about now when it comes to UAVs, the whole minimap situation I made a video on. Yeah, crutches aren't good, it harms customization, and it really tightens the meta towards running 1 or 2 things, and it makes the game boring over time. So crutches are kind of a no-no when it comes to balancing a first-person shooter, and Call of Duty has been getting better at getting rid of them, but we're still not perfect, clearly. Either way, in Call of Duty Ghosts, you had to give up something for your lethal and tactical. And although I don't believe the Pick 10 system is flawless, in fact, I think the Pick 10 system's kind of busted in a lot of ways. I've made videos expressing that the Pick 10 system, seeing everything as the same point value, is a bad system. It's just a bad way to run things, because let's say you just want a red dot on a gun that has bad iron sights, well, too bad. Now if you do that, you lose a slot, and maybe now you can't have a lock-on launcher, because apparently something that shoots down streaks has the same point value as a nice reflex sight. Yeah. But in this system, this is more like, you know, what we saw with Modern Warfare Remastered and COD World War II, where you can just have a lethal and tactical. And we also kind of saw this in a way with Black Ops 4, where you just either have a lethal, you know, a throwable that you pick, or you have a specialist ability, a specialist piece of equipment. So somebody always has equipment and doesn't have to give anything up for it, means you're going to see a lot of equipment spam. Now, some people are talking about that they love this return, but I hate it. I don't mind bouncing Bettys, claymores, various types of frags and stuns and flashes, and there seems to be some interesting stuff. There's even like a threat detector drone which will snapshot an enemy and paint them through walls. That's kind of advanced warfare-y, and I kinda dig it, honestly. There's some cool stuff in Modern Warfare, and I, again, encourage you to go look at all of it. My problem is that when people can just have concussions and stuns, they don't have to trade anything for it, they're always going to have something that they can throw around a corner at you. They're always going to have a claymore. They don't give anything up to have one. So even in Call of Duty Ghosts, you remember how many people ran IEDs? Well, a lot of people didn't run sitrep to counter these people, but the thing is that they had to give up a perk point to run that IED. Think about Call of Duty World War II and how bouncing Bettys are literally everywhere and people concussion almost around every corner in your average team deathmatch or domination game. Basically, if you haven't played a Call of Duty game where you just are guaranteed equipment, you don't realize how much people use it and how many of your gunfights get ruined by being constantly fragged or concussioned, walking into claymores, tripping over bouncing Bettys. And I think those pieces of equipment deserve to be good. They deserve to be in the game. They add variety, they add different ways to play. I like the fact that I can camp with a claymore. Sue me. But I don't like that it doesn't cost me anything to run it, meaning we're going to see a lot of claymores, a lot of concussions, a lot of frag grenades, a lot of bouncing betties, a lot of stun grenades. And there is a perk in the game that replenishes your equipment after 30 seconds. So if someone stays alive longer than 30 seconds, they'll get their frag grenade back. That is an interesting perk to put in the game because I feel like we are walking into grenade spam territory. This is another one of those things, like the minimap video, where it's like, I haven't played the game. I don't know how it's gonna play. I just know how Call of Duty plays. I know how FPS games play. If you give people concussions and frags for free, you're gonna get concussion and fragged constantly. In intense games of domination, why wouldn't I throw concussions around every corner if I hit them every life? Throw a concussion, get a couple kills, die, get a new concussion grenade, sweet, and throw it and die, and throw it and die, doesn't matter. And even if you kill me every time, do you really want to have to run perks to counter my equipment because I'm just throwing it around every corner? I'm bombarding the B flag with frag grenades and stuns? Throw first, shoot second becomes kind of the norm, and I put up with that in Modern Warfare 2 and 3 and Black Ops, but it's still frustrating to go back to. Again, think of the games that had that type of spam even though you had to give up something to have those grenades. Like, how many times did you get EMP'd in Black Ops 2? The answer is quite a fucking bit. And how many times did you run into an IED in Call of Duty Ghosts? The answer is quite a bit. But that gets turned up to 11 when they don't have to give anything up for it, like I'm reiterating. So that's why I'm going to end the video here, because that's just it. I don't like the system. People don't have to give up perks and weapons and attachments in order to put claymores on corners, concussion objectives, concussion little doorways, and concussion around corners. And sometimes they fuck up the concussion and then it gives away their position, and then you know where they're coming from. You can just watch the angle. But I don't like the fact that the gameplay is going to start revolving around this again. I thought we were past this Call of Duty. I don't look forward to getting consistently and constantly stunned. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. This is not like the minimap video where it's like you guys could maybe have a debate as to how the game will play. We've already seen how this experiment plays out. Call of Duty's tried it before. Hell, when Battlefield did it with Battlefield 1 and they made frag grenades incredibly accessible, the community complained about nade spam for a long ass time. So it's not really something we have to speculate too hard on. See you when I see you. Goodbye.